What if everything you see is not as it appears? A provocative question to kickstart our journey through the complex and fascinating world of perception. This journey will take us beyond the surface, beyond the obvious, and beyond the comfortable. Imagine, if you will, a veil. This veil is not made of silk or cotton, but it's composed of your perceptions. It's the soft, often invisible boundary that separates you from the world around you. It filters the raw, unprocessed reality into something that makes sense to you, something that fits within your understanding. But what if this veil isn't showing you the whole picture? What if it's deceiving you? Think of optical illusions, those clever tricks of light and shadow that make us see things that aren't really there. Or consider a mirage, a false promise of water in the desert, summoned by the heat and your desperate wish for it to be real. These are not mere parlor tricks or natural phenomena, but stark demonstrations of the power and fallibility of our senses. Our senses are not infallible recorders of the world. They are interpreters, translating the world's complexity into a language we can understand. But as with any translation, something is always lost. Some nuances, some subtleties, some truths slip through the cracks. And so we find ourselves living behind this veil of perception. A veil that both enlightens and deceives us. It shapes our reality, colors our experiences, and guides our actions. Yet it also hides from us the full, unvarnished truth of existence. But don't despair. Knowledge is power. And by acknowledging the existence of this veil, we take the first step in lifting it. We start to see the world not just as it appears to us, but as it truly is. This journey won't be easy. It will challenge us, confront us, and change us. But it's a journey worth undertaking. Your perception is a veil, not a mirror. Let us lift that veil and see what lies beyond. Trust in your senses, you say, but can they truly be trusted? This question is not as outrageous as it may seem at first glance. Our senses, as impressive as they are, do not always provide us with an accurate representation of the world around us. Take, for instance, the viral phenomenon of the dress that swept across the internet a few years ago. A simple photograph of a dress sparked widespread debate. Some swore it was blue and black, others were adamant it was white and gold. The controversy wasn't rooted in stubbornness, but in the fact that our senses were interpreting the same image in starkly different ways. So why did this happen? The answer lies in our brain's interpretation of light. You see, the color we perceive an object to be depends on the amount and type of light it reflects. Our brain then interprets this reflected light, filling in gaps and making assumptions based on previous knowledge and expectations. In the case of the dress, the ambiguity of the lighting in the photograph led our brains to make different assumptions, resulting in different color perceptions. This phenomenon isn't limited to just the dress. It's a common occurrence in our everyday life, from the way we perceive the taste of food based on its color, to the way we interpret sounds based on their volume or pitch. Our senses are constantly interpreting and sometimes misinterpreting the world around us. Our senses also have physical limitations. Think about the countless stars in the sky invisible to the naked eye, or the myriad of sounds that fall outside our range of hearing. There's an entire world out there that our senses can't even begin to comprehend. So, what does this all mean? It means that our senses, while remarkable, are not infallible. They are prone to deception, influenced by external factors and limited by their physical capabilities. Our senses, they are not infallible, they are but tools that craft our reality. Imagine being chained in a cave, seeing only shadows and believing them to be reality. This scenario isn't a scene from a dystopian novel. It's an allegory penned by the ancient philosopher Plato. Plato's allegory of the cave is a profound illustration of how our perceptions can limit our understanding of the world. The cave in this allegory represents the world as perceived by our senses. The chained prisoners who can only see the cave wall in front of them symbolize us, the common people. The shadows cast on the wall by the fire behind them are the reflections of the reality we perceive. Now these prisoners have spent their entire lives seeing only these shadows, hearing only the echoes. To them, this is the world, it's their reality. They would even compete over who can predict the sequence of the shadows best. But what they perceive isn't the truth, is it? The truth is outside the cave, in the form of the objects casting the shadows, basking in the light of the sun. But what happens if a prisoner is freed? Initially, the brightness of the sun would blind him, but as his eyes adjust, he would see the world in all its vibrant, complex glory. He would understand that the shadows were mere illusions, and the objects casting them were the real entities. When he returns to the cave to share his revelations, the other prisoners would ridicule him, unable to comprehend a reality beyond the shadows they've always known. This allegory is a reflection on our own lives. We, like the prisoners, are chained by our perceptions, limited by our senses. We believe what we see, hear, touch, taste and smell is the absolute truth. But is it really? What if there's a broader, more complex reality beyond what our senses can perceive? Like the prisoners in the cave, are we too chained by our perceptions? It's a question that Plato leaves us to ponder. A question that pushes us to look beyond the veil of our senses and seek the truth hidden in the shadows of our perception. Your society, your culture, do they not too shape your perception? A question steeped in layers of truth, for our perception is not merely a product of our senses, but an intricate tapestry woven by the threads of our cultural and societal norms. Consider, for instance, the way different cultures perceive time. In many Western societies, time is viewed as a linear concept, with past, present and future neatly arranged in a straight line. This perception influences how we plan our lives, how we value punctuality, and even how we view aging. Yet in many indigenous cultures around the world, time is perceived as cyclical, with events and experiences repeating in a circular pattern. This perception shapes a different understanding of life, where past and future are intertwined, and where ancestors and descendants share a common thread. Similarly, societal expectations play a significant role in shaping our perception. The societal norms and values we are exposed to from a young age deeply impact how we perceive ourselves and others. For example, societal expectations around gender roles have long influenced how individuals perceive their identity and their place in the world. Furthermore, our perception of what is normal or acceptable is largely dictated by the society we live in. This is why what is considered a delicacy in one country may be seen as bizarre in another, or why certain behaviors deemed acceptable in one culture may be frowned upon in another. The influence of culture and society on our perception extends far beyond these examples. It permeates every aspect of our lives, from our understanding of ethics and morality to our beliefs about wealth, success, and happiness. In essence, our perception is a mirror reflecting the culture and society we are a part of. It is shaped and molded by the collective wisdom and shared experiences of our community. So, as we peel back the layers of perception, let us not forget this crucial aspect. Our perception is not a solitary journey, but a communal one. We are not just observers of the world, we are participants, molded by the society we live in. Perception, a veil it may be, but a powerful one indeed. It shapes our reality, defines our world, and yet it is so subjective, so personal, that no two perceptions are ever truly identical. But what if we could harness this power? What if we could use our perception to our advantage? Consider the placebo effect, an intriguing phenomenon where a person's condition improves due to their belief in the efficacy of a treatment, even if that treatment is inert. A sugar pill, a saline injection, or even a sham surgery, if perceived as a real effective treatment, can lead to actual physical improvement in health. This is not mere wishful thinking. It's a testament to the power of belief, the power of perception. The mind, it seems, has a mysterious capacity to influence the body based on what it perceives to be true. This isn't to say that all diseases can be cured by merely believing in a cure. But it does highlight how our perception can have tangible effects on our physical reality. The placebo effect is but one example. Think about how our perception of ourselves, our self-image, can influence our behavior, our interactions with others, and ultimately, our life's path. Or consider how our perception of the world around us, our worldview, can affect our decisions, our actions, and consequently, the course of our lives. In essence, our perception has the power to shape not only our understanding of the world, but also our experiences within it. It plays a pivotal role in our lives, subtly guiding our thoughts, our feelings, and our actions. But remember, like all power, perception too is a double-edged sword. While it can empower us, it can also deceive us, cloud our judgment, and lead us astray. It's a delicate balancing act, one that requires awareness, discernment, and wisdom. So let's be mindful of this power within us. Let's use it wisely, harness it effectively, and remember that perception, while it may be a veil, is a veil that we can learn to see through, to understand, and to navigate. Perception, a double-edged sword, can deceive us, but can also empower us. What lies beyond the veil of perception, you ask? The question nudges us towards the realm of philosophical theories that have attempted to unravel the mysteries beyond our perceptual abilities. The concept of an objective reality has been a cornerstone in these discourses, an idea that proposes a world independent of our senses, a world that exists in its own right. Let's delve into the works of the great philosopher Immanuel Kant. He introduced the terms noumena and phenomena. While phenomena are the things as we perceive them, noumena are the things in themselves, the reality that lies beyond our perception. Kant argued that we can never know the noumena, the objective reality, because all our experiences are inevitably shaped by our human senses and understanding. Yet not all philosophers agree with Kant. Some propose that our senses, while limited, are not entirely unreliable. They argue that we can, in fact, perceive an objective reality, albeit imperfectly. This perspective is often known as direct realism. Then there's the intriguing theory of idealism, which posits that reality is fundamentally mental, mentally constructed, or otherwise immaterial. Idealists argue that reality as we know it is a mental construct, and there is no objective reality beyond our perception. The debate is ongoing, and the question, what lies beyond the veil of perception, remains a conundrum. It invites us to question our own perceptions, to challenge our understanding of reality, and to consider the possibility of a world beyond our sensory experiences. In this exploration, we must remember that our senses are not just passive receivers. They actively construct our reality, shaping our understanding of the world around us. Our perception is our window to the world, but it also serves as a lens, coloring and distorting the light that comes through. Beyond the veil, there lies a world unknown, a world waiting to be discovered. The veil has been lifted. The journey ahead is ours to take. In our quest for understanding, we must remember the importance of questioning our perceptions and seeking truth. Our world is not just what our senses tell us. It is a complex tapestry of realities, some seen, some unseen, all of them waiting to be discovered. Consider the story of Galileo Galilei, a man who dared to look beyond the veil of perception. With his rudimentary telescope, he challenged the prevailing belief of his time that everything revolved around the Earth. He gazed at the heavens and saw moons orbiting Jupiter, a sight that defied the accepted geocentric view of the universe. He was met with scorn, ridicule, even punishment. But he held firm to his convictions, for he knew he had glimpsed a truth beyond the veil. Or consider Albert Einstein, a humble patent clerk who dared to question the very fabric of reality. He contemplated the nature of light and space and time, and in doing so developed the theory of relativity. His revolutionary ideas challenged the established Newtonian physics and opened up a whole new understanding of the universe. These stories remind us that our journey beyond the veil is not without its challenges. It demands courage, resilience, and an unyielding thirst for truth. It requires us to question, to probe, to challenge our long-held beliefs and perceptions. But it is a journey worth undertaking. For beyond the veil lies a reality richer and stranger than anything our senses alone can perceive. It is a world of quantum particles and black holes, of dimensions beyond the three we know, of mysteries yet unsolved. So let us take up the mantle of the philosophers of old, the scientists who dared to dream, the seekers of truth. Let us challenge our perceptions. Let us seek to lift the veil. Let us embark on this journey beyond the known. The journey beyond perception, it is not for the faint-hearted, but for those who dare to seek the truth. In the end, perception is but a tool, a lens through which we view the world. We've journeyed through the corridors of understanding, exploring the deceptive nature of our senses, and the profound implications of Plato's Allegory of the cave. We've examined how society and culture shape our perceptions, underlining the power that lies in our perspective to construct our reality. We've ventured beyond the veil, daring to question, to seek, to understand. The journey has been illuminating, revealing that our perception is not a static construct, but a dynamic, ever-shifting lens molded by our experiences and the world around us. The power to shape our reality lies within us. Perception is our guide, our interpreter, our storyteller. It is our compass in the journey of understanding the world and our place within it. What lies beyond your perception? Only you have the power to lift the veil and discover.